¿De dónde eres? Yo soy de Nashville. Soy de Tennessee. He vivido en Nashville por muchos años, desde mi nacimiento. Nací el 9 de junio a Vanderbilt, al hospital de Vanderbilt. Buenas tardes, clase. Voy a hablar sobre las tareas por esta semana en español nivel 1. We're going to be talking about módulo 1, mi vida y yo. You have tres tareas, 3 assignments due this week. They are 1.03, 1.04. Y también 1.05, 1.05, el alfabeto. So you have 3 assignments coming up this week. They are all need to be completed after you look at the lesson. So if you are looking at the assignments before looking at the lessons, please work through the lessons before trying to attempt the assignments, because that will help you actually learn the material instead of just trying to attempt the quizzes. Sometimes you can attempt the quizzes and maybe you could get a good grade if you just attempt the quiz without doing the lesson, but then you're not really learning anything, and you're doing yourself a disservice in the goal of learning some Spanish, or a lot of you had the goal of becoming more fluent in Spanish. So the lessons are really great because they have a lot of tools in there to help you with your pronunciation. And if you want more help with the lessons, as in like trying to decipher, kind of work through a lesson, I'm happy to work through one of those. In my last week's video, I actually gave a tour of kind of all the tools that are available to you from me, and then also kind of what a lesson looks like if you haven't looked at a lesson yet. So you have those tools already in place. I am going to plan to make a video or go live this week on Teams with anybody who wants to join, on kind of just giving you a more in-depth tour of all the tools that the lessons actually have for you to help you with pronunciation, help with your writing, help with your listening skills in Spanish, a lot of different skills that the lessons have already built in to the lesson. So I'm going to either make a video of that, or I'm going to go live and I'll record that also. So either way, it will be a video you can access. So 01.03, 01.03, ¿Cómo te llamas? So this is your next piece. So last lesson was 01.02, ¿Cómo estás? So that was introducing yourself and saying, that's a piece of introducing yourself and saying like, how are you doing? So that's a huge communication skill that's really great to learn. It really helps with becoming fluent. Like a large percentage of being fluent is being able to talk and greet other people and introduce yourself. I know it seems like kind of like a silly skill, but it's actually like one of the main things that you need to know how to do, especially if you're like traveling anywhere that with Spanish speaking, but also just like meeting people on the street in the United States that may or may not speak English, or in your community. There's lots of opportunities to speak Spanish everywhere, so all over the place. So that's a huge piece. So this is kind of the next step. And so in 01.03, you're going to be able to identify, if you work through the lesson, you can identify needed vocabulary necessary for introductions. You can use introduction expressions in simple situations. You can understand introduction expressions in simple conversation. You can participate in the conversation using introduction expressions, and you can use polite expressions. That's like when you're trying to be like very like polite and like talking to someone more formal, like someone who's older, or a teacher, or like a principal, or anything like that. Like an older family member. That's when you want to be more polite, use more formal expressions. You're going to be able to identify the differences between tú and usted. So tú is informal you, and usted is more informal you. So you would use usted when you're talking to someone that you may not know very well, or someone who is older, or someone that you want to show respect. Like, again, like a principal, a teacher, someone at the bank. Anytime you would use like Mr. or Mrs., that's not a very great example, but anytime you would want to show respect, then you would use usted. And then I can identify usage of names in Spanish-speaking countries. So that's for 01.03. 01.04 is de dónde eres. So de dónde eres is another question of like, where are you from? Okay, it's another question of working on introducing yourself and getting to know someone else on a very like basic conversation level. So you're in 01.04, you're going to be able to identify needed vocabulary to share basic information about self, use vocabulary to share basic information about self with others. You can understand basic information about self in a simple conversation. You can participate in conversation using basic information about self to share with others, and you can use numbers 0 through 10 to ask and respond to simple questions. So a lot packed in to 01.04. And again, it just comes with another quiz for your assignment. Then your last assignment this week, so you have 3 assignments this week. The last one is 01.05, el alfabeto. And so you're basically going to be learning a lot about the alphabet and how to pronounce, really good pronunciation with the letters. And so you're going to be able to, in 01.05, you can make the sounds of the Spanish alphabet to improve your pronunciation. You're going to identify similarities and differences between Spanish and English alphabets. And you can use, so you'll also be able to identify similarities and differences between Spanish, I already said that, and then use basic punctuation in Spanish. So this is a really good lesson to teach you basic punctuation, which is very similar to English, except there are just a few little techniques that you need to, or skills you need to add in to make sure your punctuation in Spanish is very good. The things that I want you to look at in all of the lessons this week, these are all really building block, very fundamental skills in Spanish. And so I want you to make sure that you are working through the lessons. And if you have questions, just let me know. I'm very happy to help. But if you are really, really confused and you have not worked through the lessons, then that is going to be my first thing that I'm going to tell you to do before I give you help, or I'm going to check with you that that's something that you've done before I give you a lot of help, because the lessons are where all the content is, and I can definitely help you and walk you through all kinds of things and give you tips and skills like if you need them, but so much is in there. So the one thing that's in there in every lesson is there's activities that allow you to work through the vocabulary and learn the new vocabulary, and when you click on it, it allows you to actually hear the word. It's spoken by a native speaker. It allows you to try to pronounce it, and it grades how you pronounce it. And so you will have, it actually records you saying it, and it tells you like, you did a great job, or it tells you you need to improve. So you'll be able to see it, hear it, and speak it. So it's a really, really great tool that is something that's very valuable, especially when you're doing a virtual course and you're not able to hear me speaking Spanish a lot in the classroom all day. Then this is a really great tool to help you with your pronunciation as you work through the lessons. So I just want to make sure you're pointing it out. And like I said, I'm going to try to, I'm going to either make a video to go of the tools that you can access in your lessons, or go live and show you. Either one will be recorded, like I said. So again, I want to make sure that you know that Tuesdays are my open office hours. So Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. You can hop on Teams on my Teams link that's posted in every update. You can click on that, and I try to always send a reminder Schoology message out with that link also a few hours before it starts, so that you have it and you can click on it. Then that is just for you to drop in and ask questions and see me, hear Spanish. If you want to hear Spanish, ask questions about anything, you can ask the questions in English or Spanish. I just want you to be really comfortable hopping on there and asking questions or getting any kind of help. So that's the drop-in time. And then also there's another link in the weekly updates in my contact information that has booking. So if you want to like book a specific time with me, you can go into bookings and say, I really want a meeting with you. I want some like independent help, one-on-one help, and you can book that, and I'll be very happy to help you with that. If for some reason you work during those times, or you those times don't work for whatever reason it is, just let me know, send me a message or an email, and we'll find another time to meet. So I'm very happy to help you. I want to figure out a way to help you, so just communicate with me and I will work with you. So if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. That is the weekly update this week. I hope you had a good weekend, and I can't wait to look at your work this week and see how you're doing. Bye. Adios.